All right, so we are looking at the side, angle, side, and side, side, side congruency homework. I do want to point out that there's a possibility that it could not be congruent as well. Okay, so you need to have that option. So we're going to look at, let's look at number 2. All right, number 2. So I've got these 2 triangles, and I want to point out that if the 2 triangles meet up somewhere and there's no side sticking out anywhere, we call that reflexive. Okay, we'll do that more when we talk about proofs. But it means that these 2 sides are congruent to each other. Okay? Now, on this triangle, on the top one, I have a side, an angle, and a side that are congruent. But on the bottom one, it's side, side, angle. So these are not congruent. You can write the word out too if you don't like this symbol. Not congruent. Either one. Okay? All right. Let's move down to like number 6. Okay? Number 6. Again, I have those overlapping sides, so these 2 are congruent to each other. So I have this side is congruent for both ones. These both have 2 little marks. Those little marks mean they're congruent to each other. And then it has this 3rd little mark, so it means those are congruent to each other. So I have a side, and a side. So this is congruent by side, side, side. Is it making sense? Yeah. Okay, turn your paper over. We're going to look at the back. We're going to look at number 12. Okay, on the back, it's totally different. You're proving that it's saying that they're already congruent. It wants to know what is missing. Okay? So in this case, it's side, angle, side, and it wants you to tell it what is missing. Okay? So I know I've got side LM and GH is congruent. I know I've got LK and HI are congruent. So I need this angle in between here. Okay? So I'm going to say angle, and I'm going to show you the way you're supposed to write angles, where you're supposed to say what's in the middle. So I'm going to say angle MLK is congruent to angle GHI. Okay? This is L and this is H. Those are the angles I'm talking about, but you list angles where you say 3 letters like that. Okay, let's do one other one. Let's do number 18. Let's do number 18 at the bottom. So this is a side, an angle, and a side. But there's only one thing that's missing here, but I only see the side. Can somebody tell me why something else is okay? Do you guys remember what we just learned with parallel lines? Is there anything like that on here? No? Do you guys remember that these are vertical angles? Yeah? So those are already given, so we don't need those. So we need the next side. What would the other side be? I've got a side, an angle. Am I going to say RT is congruent to DB? Or am I going to say TS is congruent to DS? TS is congruent to DS because it has to have the angle in between. Okay? So DS is congruent to TS. Okay? If I said SD is congruent to ST, that would be fine. But the D and the T both have to come first to describe what the line is. Okay? The rest of this is homework. Again, when you're done with your congruent triangles page, where you had to use your patty paper to do it, once you have this all filled out, come show me. I'm going to go over the answers on Monday, though. Okay?